State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Your Excellency, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We hope when you call on you again, you will oblige us.
No, I will come. I mean, I told you it's my uncle's station. The only thing is I'm angry at Obilo. Tell him when you see him. Don't cut off the thing. No. I'm worth the public to hear. Obilo doesn't spare anybody. I'm not going to spare him. It's like my brother. We fight all the time, but fighting on the truth. He shouldn't have invited me and not appeared. Okay? It's disrespectful to me and to government.
Thank you
for coming.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
And I'm saying, once you are here, this is the constituted authority for Oyo State. Even if I don't pay salaries, I don't pay this, the fact is that I'm the constituted authority. It does not remove that authority. What it only means is that you must do everything possible. When your citizenry complains, you listen to them. You find solutions. It is not by fighting you find solutions. It is not by being unruly. Gone are the days when students are unruly. Students of today are engaging. You find look at the country today. There is no money. Everybody is looking for how to resolve it. It's not by fighting. We are not in the cave. We are not in the old age.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
You are about to access 26.6 billion from the federal government. What is the interest rate?
9%.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, it's good. It's like, that's why I keep telling people they say it's a bailout. Yeah, you can say it's a bailout, but it's a bailout that you pay for. And it's like a bond, really. It's like taking a long-term bond. I mean, a bond of about 20 years where we are paying 9%. And I think the rates are okay. They're acceptable.
Would this amount be strictly for the payment of salary?
Definitely. It's illegal to do otherwise.
It's a condition?
It is a condition. But the saddest thing there is that as soon as we are paying, we start owing again.
Will you want to cut the salary of workers?
It's a consideration. I'm already discussing with the workers. I've laid bare to them the problems we face. We have less than 100,000 workers in Oyo State, and they consume all the money of Oyo State. We can't even take care of the public. We can't even repair roads. We can't do anything. Last week, I held a meeting with workers, with their representatives, and I laid bare to them. In fact, it was this week, Monday, I laid bare to them that, look, gentlemen, every month that we get salary, we are not doing anything else in Oyo State. We are just working for the workers of Oyo State. Oyo State is not created to be paying salaries to workers only. It's also created to be able to take care of the people, of the public, of the masses, provide infrastructure, provide all the enabling environment for people to live better and have improved lives.
Did they understand your point?
They did, and surprisingly, they empathize with us. But it's not enough to empathize. It is to make sure that we must take concrete steps to correct the situation. Otherwise, we are running a bankrupt state.
Mr. Governor, do you think you have an over-bloated civil service?
I think so. I believe so.
Who do you blame?
I think it's the system. The system that encourage. Don't forget, government is also there to provide employment. Government is also there to provide welfare for the people, to create an enabling environment. But in a situation where the economic indices cannot support some of this welfareism, it has to be reviewed.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
said Isiaka will be governor. And Isiaka is the governor. An angel was passing. Gani's dream was his son, Isiaka, will be governor. He told his friend, late Dejo Raimi. You remember him? That medical doctor betrayed by politics. Baba Raimi speaks from the other world. Remember? It was in his house in Ibadan before his departure.
He saw how people were bringing gifts to Bola Ige, who was the governor, several cars as gifts. Then he told me in this room, Isiaka will be governor.
And Isiaka is governor.
Well, Isiaka is governor, and you know what I said? I said, look at Gani's prediction. There was an angel passing that time who said amen to Gani's talk. Gani said Isiaka will be governor.
And Isiaka is governor.
And Isiaka is a governor. But I owe him a grudge against him. You know the grudge?
No.
During the last Ileya festival, he didn't give us ram. I don't know why. All former SSGs, former governors, former speakers, if they are Christian, they are giving Christmas baskets. Yes, token gift from the government. If they are Muslim, during the Ileya festival, they are giving rams. But I don't know why Isiaka did not give me ram.
Have you called him?
I've not called him.
Call him and ask him why.
Well, I'm asking him through this interview. I'm asking Isiaka, why didn't you give me ram during the last Ileya festival? After all, the ram belongs to government. You spend government money to buy it. Give us the ram. So I'm using this medium to ask Isiaka, why did you not give me ram during the last Ileya festival?
Sheyi Makinde is coming. Many of them are coming.
Did you say Sheyi Makinde is coming?
Yes.
To the APC?
Yes. You see, this APC is a movement. It's not about individuals. It's about philosophy.
Is the APC not moving at a very fast pace? It might crash very soon.
Why will it crash?
The way the PDP crumbled like a pack of cards.
No, we are not PDP. We are APC.
You have PDP members joining you.
That's it. Then they are adjusting to our own system. Yeah. They are adjusting to our own system. And we have system. System of accountability, of performance, of transparency, and of efficiency. So if Akala is coming to me, even if tomorrow Ladoja wants to come, let him come. You see, you must influence people. You must talk to people. You must convert people.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Ajimobi for second part. APC for change. Ajimobi Atiri. Ajimobi Atiri. Wọ́n sọ pé mi ré, wọ́n sọ pé ìgboro. Bíọ́lá ọba Ajimobi.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Festus Adedayo, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
It's nice to be here. Good morning, Nigerians.
He flew away.
You did.
What is life to you?
When I'm asked this question, I go back to my philosophy text. And I remember how, especially existential philosophers, try to situate life. For some existential philosophers will tell you that you are old enough to die the moment you are born.
Is that not true?
Very true. Some will tell you that they will corroborate some of the things that are said in the Bible about existence. For instance, some of them will tell you that they will tell you what you can compare to what the Bible says about human existence being comparable to vapor. You know, it whooshes, and you see it and you think that this is something that is great, and the next moment you can't see that vapor any longer.
How come even when we understand the vapor nature of life, we still cry when they fly away?
No, not only do we cry, when you see the dead now, you see a man who you saw a few minutes back was full of life, and the next minute is still. And at that moment, your mortality confronts you. You tell yourself that someday you are also going to be still like this. And
but you don't want to think about it.
You don't want to think about it. And that's also the complexity about existence. At that moment, no matter who you are, you see a dead man, you see a dead woman, you also think about the day you are also going to be like this. But step out of that, your humanity also comes to play. And you begin to assume your immortality. You say, mine, I'm going to live till 100. I'm going to live till 90. I'm not going to die. And even if I die, perhaps I'll die more comfortable than the person I just saw a few minutes back. So it's the nature of man's life. I always have recourse to, and whenever I see such moments like this, I remember the day Governor Abiola Ajimobi died. And I got home and, I was discussing him with my family. And my children, I was also looking at them. There's one day you are also going to, miss your dad the same way that the children of Governor Ajimobi are missing him today. And that is life. You can't run away from it. Religionists will only pray that and even Africans themselves, in white sayings and all that, let it be longer. Don't let us die now. But our ephemerality as human beings is our nature.
You worked with Ajimobi as a special advisor on media.
Yes, I did.
Who is Ajimobi?
That's a very big question. Ajimobi, it's sad that one has to refer to him in the past tense. I feel like Ajimobi was a great man. Ajimobi had so many, like every human being, he had so many drawbacks, which he also acknowledged. But set aside his drawbacks, he was a great man. I worked with him as a member of his strategy team before he became governor, and I saw the transition from what he was then into a statesman.
Transition.
Transition. I saw a confirmation of some of the things he used to say to us those days. I saw he would tell us, members of the strategy team at that time, that look, when we get there, it was if we get there. And some feel 1 or 2 months before the election, it was talking affirmatively. When we get there, these are the things we are going to do. We're not going to run our government. It was the phrase, the refrain on his lips was always the Amala politics that we met. We were going to raise the bar. And so when we get there, all of you should be prepared. And when we got there, I saw a man, I tell you, the first 1-2 years, I almost couldn't keep pace with him. He was a nocturnal man. Ajimobi most times won't sleep until about 4 a.m.
And wakes up at what time?
And that also, that you could also say, and when people say that, he was always coming late to functions. You can't cheat nature. He will hold meetings till 4 a.m. And by 10 a.m., we'll go to his house. And most times when we met the wife, Mrs. Ajimobi, Mommy, we need so person is around and our guy is not there. We say, your guy slept 4 a.m. Say, please help us wake him. We can't tell the visiting dignitary that our guy slept 4 a.m. And so you could see that contradiction. And it was, in fact, when we first got to office, he was leaving the secretariat around 1-2 a.m. And I couldn't cope. I, as a person, couldn't cope. I wasn't a nocturnal.
You needed to wait for him.
Yes, you needed to wait for him. I guess, as he says in media, you couldn't leave him. What if anything happened during that time? So you had to wait for him. Our convoy would leave the secretariat 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m. And so I found that a little bit difficult to cope with.
And there were ways he responded to media messages.
Yes.
Ajimobi could fight.
He could fight. You see, one of the things people didn't know about him was that he had the heart of a dove. I'm not here, you know me, first I don't subscribe to that African saying that don't speak ill of the dead. I feel that we should speak ill of the dead so that as people are in existence for now, maybe those who get into office would also take a cue, because what that will tell them is that when I die, they are going to speak ill of me. All the things that I do that are wrong, they are going to say them. So I tell you that Ajimobi had the heart of a dove. All those, you see, when we got into office in 2011, I had some issues that I knew that were going to constitute big problem to me in managing his media. The first week that Ajimobi came into office, he had a chain, he had a necklace on him. And I knew that was going to be a huge problem. Because I remember the government of Governor Alao Akala, that was one of the major things we used to condemn him, for engaging in. I as a person used to attack Governor Akala by saying he was a vain person, because I feel that if a man wears a necklace, you could situate vanity in the way he looks at issues.
Is that really true?
Well, that's my opinion. And that's the opinion of so many people.
All right.
So
but when a woman wears it, what happens?
I mean, it's okay. You can excuse it. So women naturally, they are enticed by those things you call vanities. At home, you know what your wife will want to take photographs or selfie or what they call it. At every point, they want to look good. Those are vanities as far as I am concerned.
What about when you read? It's not vanity.
Okay, so when you read, that's maybe vanity for life.
Is everything not vanity?
Everything is vanity, actually. That's a very strong... way to see it. But I mean, I'm talking about me as a person. I believe that it is vain. And so we had Governor Ajimobi putting on a necklace, and I said, wow, I'm going to have serious issue. And that fantastic writer, our Egbo, Dotun Yela, they wrote a piece, I think it was the first week of our being in government. And after, writing that piece, it was a one-page piece in the Tribune. And he said, by the way, I saw a necklace on Governor Ajimobi's neck, an 18-karat gold necklace. I'm sure it must have been procured in Dubai. And I'm sure Governor Ajimobi read that piece. Till today, I don't know what happened. But I have a feeling that some people prevailed on him to remove the necklace. And since that day, I, for one, never saw any necklace on him till he died, after that day. And so that was one obstacle, number one, removed. The second obstacle I had was with his agbada. Ajimobi loved to wear agbada. And I'd done a psychoanalysis of the position of agbada. Is an elitist garment. It's an elitist garment compared to people who wear buba and shoro. You can't wear agbada you can't procure an agbada if you didn't have up to about 10 yards. So you alienate those who love you, the people, so to speak. When you wear agbada, they see you as an elite. And we were coming in as a government that professed to be close to the people. So I felt we were going to have issues with it. And the third one was that Ajimobi didn't suffer fools gladly. He was not diplomatic in the real sense of being a diplomat. He said things the way he saw it.
Even to his advisors.
Even to advisors. If Ajimobi didn't like you, he won't hide it. If he's in a place where the person he didn't like was, there and then you will know. You will know that he didn't like you. He will single you out and tell you. And he never hid whatever he had on his mind. And so I was going to have problem with that because as a media manager, there are a lot of things that you expect your principal not to say. So Ajimobi wasn't that kind of person. He didn't suffer fools gladly at all.
He would express himself.
He would express himself.
Did he care how the person reacts?
I think that I don't think he cared. Once he had said his mind, he moved on. And for me, as a media manager, that wasn't a good thing.
Okay.
And so I was going to have problem with that. But as I said earlier, I literally did a psychoanalysis of those, especially those two issues, agbada wearing, and the way he also he used words to defend himself, so to speak. I found out that while he was growing up, because he didn't have a big stature, and some people used to bully him.
Bully him?
Yes, on account of his, And so he needed a shield, so to speak. And, it wasn't, most of those things that I used to say, if you meet Ajimobi at close quarters, you see a man who had the heart of a dove. He couldn't stand people suffering.
Bimbo Kolade, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you very much, Edward. Good to be here.
How do you feel this morning?
Well, the mood is still on, and a very good, confident, close person, the one that I regarded as a father, it's gone, and of course it's expected. And my very good friend and brother, Dr. Festus.
Bimbo Kolade was a commissioner of works, commissioner of agric, commissioner of local government and chieftaincy matter under Ajimobi. Today we are looking at the man, Ajimobi. Ajimobi is gone. Mr. Kolade, what can you remember about him? His administrative style.
Wow, okay. If you just want me to address the administrative style, I will say that's one workaholic that you can never imagine. I've not really worked with so many governors, But then, if that is the way governors work, if that is the way an elderly man will work, because he became a governor at 62, that is ordinarily a retirement age and all that, then you will wonder what kind of a man he was in his 40s, in his 50s, when struggling for career growth. It's a major, it will be a major issue. Now that, there's nothing that you are struggling for. You are the governor. Everybody knows the power of a governor in this country. And for him to now take the work so personal, so corporate, like that. Governance has never been done like that. I don't see so much.
So how are you able to cope?
I always say that you have to be at the top of your game for you to cope with Ajimobi. Yes, I operated within the corporate environment also before coming into government. But I discovered that if you are going to him, in any way, I worked with the Indians before joining Ajimobi's administration. Of course, with the Indians, you have to be crafty. But with him, you have to be intelligent. Because that's a man that can ask you 20 questions in 1 minute. Because as he said, what is happening about this? Before you even answer, what about this? And immediately you are answering, is puncturing whatever it is that you are giving as an answer. And that is somebody that if your information is not genuine, is not correct, please don't say it before Ajimobi. Because before he asks you the question, he already has a good knowledge of what is happening there. If he calls you around 1:30 a.m. and say, Commissioner, they said that Akpete Bridge has collapsed again. Then you better be sure that something is happening in Akpete before you say, no, the bridge has not collapsed. So you better be sure. That is 1:32 a.m. in the night.
Ajimobi at 70 looked younger than his age.
Yes, he looked younger than his age. And as I said about the psychoanalysis thing, I knew that some governors, even in the Southwest, before they came to realize his age, used to call him by name because they felt that small stature of his approximated his age. And so when they found out his age, they started calling him Egbon. And so, as I told you earlier,
sorry, please, Festus. If we ordinarily even correct you, so
I saw the Agbada that I told you about as a shield because it made him to feel elderly. And for him to also, he used words, he weaponized words.
So he would fight with his mouth.
Fight with his mouth, so that he wasn't bullied wherever he went.
And that got him a lot of spanking.
Yes.
Well, if you want to say spanking, but yes, you see, there's something that you say in war or in fighting. It's all about winning. So if part of his strategy is that, fine, I don't have the stature, I don't have this, and what I can use is to use my mouth to defend myself and pave way for myself. I see it's a good weapon of war.
A good weapon of war.
Yeah.
But that became somewhat his albatross.
Yes, as we said earlier, there was no way I have my own drawback as a person. While Ajimobi's own was with words, mine is with my pen. And people say that I'm very unruly when I pick my pen.
Is that true?
That's what's in pen.
That's what people say. And I have accepted my fate. I attempted to be otherwise. I found out that I couldn't. I can't pre-sing.
You just need to be yourself.
And let me be myself. Let me be Festus.
Ajimobi was himself.
He was himself.
Yeah, you see, that's part of the irony of life. There's this adage in Yoruba that we say, that is, whatever the world used to praise you will be the same thing that they will use to abuse you. I remember that in 2011 when he first came into power, it's been, this is a brilliant man. This man can talk. This man can use words, and honestly, this man is not like a former one who will not talk, who will just keep quiet, who will not do this and all that. Honestly, for the 8 years thereabout, honestly, people praises him for being a good command of words. And I see that's like leaders. Akintola has a good command of words and languages also. Bola Ige had a good command of words and languages also. I'm even happy that Ajimobi only had a good command of words, not languages. I wish Ajimobi can speak Hausa, can speak Igbos, like the likes of Akintolas and the likes of Bola Ige. Maybe it will have even been a better one.
Let's look at his politics. Was his politics played in the right way? Was he a great political leader?
I don't know what you mean by a great political leader. If someone was able to, a corporate person who came into politics and was able to gather a sizable number of following, and some of them cultic following, Akanji and all that, they would come to him and do the political obeisance that he was also able to rise above some of the things. Ajimobi was an intensely private and family person, in the sense that, look, Ajimobi couldn't stand some of those things that politicians do. You can't be unruly in the presence of Ajimobi. I remember when we were having elections was in 2011 or 2015, on the street I saw some sorry, don't let me use that word, smoking Indian hemp. I said, if Ajimobi, he couldn't stand such things. He couldn't stand violence. He couldn't stand people who were unruly. Let me tell you a particular instance when we were being attacked, and I couldn't take it any longer, and I replied, Baba, what's his name now? The late Nigeria's Attorney General during the Second Republic, Akijide. And I replied him. I remember it was a Sunday. Ajimobi called me and said, Festus, I don't want to attack these people. I want to be a statesman. And so after that, we found different ways of replying to those who attacked us.
But he attacked. Ajimobi attacked. Ajimobi was not a gentleman.
You see what I said? Remember what I said earlier?
Ajimobi could tell you what he wants to say.
He couldn't suffer fools gladly. But at the same time, he found a way of intellectualizing whatever he said that you ordinarily would find to be unruly.
When Lam Adesina died, I wanted to have an interview with him. After interviewing others, he refused to talk to me. And everybody he said, no, I won't talk to you. You have been attacking me.
That's him.
I told you earlier, if he had issues with you,
he won't hide it.
He won't hide it.
He won't hide it.
Wasn't that better than somebody who pretend to, like you, but behind you, he would do something that was divisive?
His style of politics, honestly, it depends on what you look at as politics, or what we tend to.
Okay, you will tell me more after this break. Ajimobi as governor was not a quiet governor. He spoke his mind without caring whose oars is God. As Ajimobi received more knocks and kicks, let's not forget his sense of humor. He disarms with it. As Ajimobi suffers from election defeat, let's not forget his mastery of conflicts and their workings. Ajimobi fought battles he created for himself, and he became the constituted authority, deploying state power to make his point. Ajimobi has unraveled. You are unraveling.
And I'm saying, once you are here, this is the constituted authority for Oyo State. Even if I don't pay salaries, I don't pay this, the fact is that I'm the constituted authority. It does not remove that authority. What it only means is that you must do everything possible. When your citizenry complains, you listen to them. You find solutions. It is not by fighting you find solutions. It is not by being unruly. Gone are the days when students are unruly. Students of today are engaging. You find, so look at the country today. There is no money. Everybody is looking for how to resolve it. It's not by fighting. We are not in the cave. We are not in the old age.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Let's not forget that Ajimobi can be compassionate. Take note, I'm not using the past tense. Ajimobi can also be inspiring. But the failure of Isiaka to give us quality health care is the reason Iyanu died. In his office, I confronted him with the case of Iyanu, and I put a call straight to Iyanu's mother. I didn't take his permission. I handed him the phone, and he did not turn it down. Yes, they had a conversation.
I learned that you are not true.
No, Mr. Obilo is just telling me now that one teacher slapped your daughter and the daughter developed a tumor and then died at the hospital. Nobody told us. You should have written to us.
We have not buried us in that time.
Look, whatever I need to do to assist you,
there is no money on us again.
I will arrange money for you. But
we spend close to 3 million.
Really? Okay.
So, no help from anywhere again.
You know what I want you to do?
Yes, sir.
Please come to my office tomorrow.
Okay, sir. By what time, sir?
And come around 12.
Okay, sir.
Ask for Sheyi Adisa, my PA.
Okay, sir.
And say I gave you appointment.
Okay,
and
sir.
come and see me. Sheyi Adisa, my PA.
Okay,
yeah.
Sir.
Then tell them I give you appointment, and then you come and see me. But let us.
Ask me whether I have any pass or what.
No, I will tell Sheyi Adisa now. Just ask for him. Don't say you are looking for me. Say you want to see Sheyi Adisa.
Okay.
And I will tell him now as soon as I drop the phone.
Okay, sir. I will bring those pictures along. You can see.
Okay. We will help you. I'm sorry about what happened.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. And did you report to the police and everything?
Even the case is still in the court.
Which school? Which school is this?
Not allow the girls to rest.
Which school is this?
It's Bishop Philip Academy, sir.
Okay, Bishop Philip Academy.
Yes. There are many atrocities there, sir.
Okay, please, when you come tomorrow, you update me on all the atrocities, and then I guarantee you will take action.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Sorry again.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
And you too. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Professor Francis Ebukari, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Nice to be here. Good morning, everyone.
A journalist walked into the office of a governor, put a call through to a victim, handed the phone to the governor, and brought out his recorder and started recording. What does it feel like?
Feels like an ambush. And listening to him, you could see that he's a very confident individual. Many people would turn down, fearing what the dialogue was going to look like. And he handled the situation very well, maturely. And you could see some elements of compassion in him, which is not forced. If he were pretending, you would know. If we could mainstream compassion, actually, I think the problem basically is that individualizing and personalizing compassion is always a problem. But if we mainstream it in the governance process, in terms of the institutions of governance, then it becomes something that everybody can benefit from. So they will not need an Obilo to give them a breakthrough. An individual will not need an Obilo to give them a breakthrough. And I think that's still one of the failures of our system.
Why do people die?
Why do people die?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. People die because people die. It's not about dying actually that is the problem. It's really about the fact that the reasons why people die in our climb are simply reasons why people should not die anywhere in any developed system anymore. People die of malaria, which can be treated with just a few thousand naira. People die of carelessness. People die from self-medication. People die because these hospital services are not available to render the kinds of services that ordinary people get as a matter of routine everywhere. And that is really the problem about dying in Nigeria. And then when people die, we say it's an act of God. And the question I always ask is that why is it always in Nigeria that people die as an act of God from malaria? Why is it that the same people who claim that it's an act of God don't wait to die as an act of God in Nigeria? They have to fly out when they have common headaches and common colds. So the whole business of death in Nigeria is so cheap. And I think what you were dealing with was the alarm you felt from the fact that some of the issues, what led to the death of this young lady ought not to have led to her death in a situation where we had a more organized system.
Francis Egbokare is an academic linguist. He is a professor at the Department of Linguistics and African Languages, University of Ibadan. He is the president, Nigerian Academy of Letters. Ayo Gundele, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Nice to be here. Good morning.
If Ajimobi had a private jet and flew to London, perhaps he would have been home today.
Well, the situation that arises in the world right now does not allow for such, because Ajimobi is not the first prominent person, is not the first VIP in Nigeria to have died from this COVID-19, okay? And if there had been opportunity to fly people abroad, I'm sure a lot of the more prominent people or the earlier prominent VIPs that died would have been flown abroad. The situation right now worldwide shows everybody quite clearly that this is a war. This is a war against an unseen enemy. Okay, this coronavirus is an unseen enemy, and the whole world is fighting that war. And until the whole world comes together as one, to face this scourge, okay, we are not going to find a quick answer to resolve it.
And he's taking down some of our beautiful elites, but some would say ugly elites.
Well, if it's taking down some of our elites that we're hearing about, can you imagine the number of people that nobody knows that have died from this COVID-19? Can you imagine the number of illiterates? Can you imagine the number of peasants that have died and nobody knows and have just been buried in under 24 hours? And that's it. And nobody knows. We don't have the statistics, we don't have the data, we don't have the records, okay, to be able to even give us accurate figures in Nigeria right now.
Festus Adedayo, what was your last moment with him like? What did you discuss?
Thank you. I met Ajimobi for the last time on, I think it should be May 4 or so. That's about 7 or so weeks ago. I had just written a book, my first book ever. And I felt that as my former boss, I should present it to him. So I went there in the company of his former Attorney General, Adebayo Ojo, and one other friend of ours. So, of course, from the gate, if you read my piece tomorrow, where I did a tribute to him, I reconstructed what happened, my last supper with him. And so from the gate, you begin to wash your hands. You know immediately this is one of the Nigerian elites who are afraid to die. And that's the first impression you have. So we washed our hands. And in fact, the gate man will not allow you in unless you wash your hand. So we washed our hands, we met him, we sat in his sitting room, and immediately he walked in. He said, no social distancing. No, you sit on the couch, I sit here. And we started talking. And you could see somebody who was reconciliatory. He had issue with a top legal practitioner in Oyo State. And so elders from Ibadan were calling him, asking him for reconciliation. He said, I'm not opposed to reconciliation. All I want is, Baba, you fix a venue and I will be there. I don't have any issue with him. He's my brother. I'm ready to forgive. And he kept on talking and on. And he talked about, he said, hey, OJ, Festus, see how vain life is. We are trapped here now. We can't go anywhere. Even if we have houses anywhere in the world, we can't even visit them in the last 3 months. Can you see how vain life is? And we all talked about it. In fact, trust him. He said, look, even the face mask that you people are wearing, do you know that scientists have said that it is even dangerous? And so we started debating that. Of course, I autographed my book, and in the autograph, I said, you taught us that excellence was the only thing that sufficed. He said, look, Festus, you know, I learned a lot from you. You're a master weaver of English and all that and all that. I also saw Ajimobi, who was a very, very humble man. I mean, that was my impression the last minute. And he said, okay, you are not fasting, because he was fasting. Father, I remember he said, OJ also told him that was the 10th day of the fast. He said, I don't even remember. I just go on fasting. And so when it was time to breakfast, we moved to the main house. And the food was everywhere. It was like the Last Supper. I said, wow. And I picked Amala. OJ picked Amala. And he said, oh, Festus, just one wrap. Take more. I said, I was okay. He said, look, see meat there. Take more meat. I said, I was okay. He was eating, if I'm not mistaken, he was eating rice. And he said, he kept on explaining why he was eating rice, why he doesn't like what we were eating. If he ate swallow, it will affect him and all that. And thereafter, he saw us off to our car. And as I reconstructed in my piece, I looked back and I saw him. I don't know what feeling that I had. It was when he died, I remembered the feeling I had. You know, I just saw him, from his behind. I saw one walking into the dark. And so I started reconfiguring that when he died. It wasn't as if it occurred to me then, but I just started reconfiguring the last moment.
Let's look at his journey to Abuja, where he is suspected to have contracted COVID-19. You know, some would say if Ajimobi had taken it easy after becoming governor for 8 years, perhaps he would be alive today. But the struggle for political power took him to Abuja, right?
Edward, I won't buy that last word.
Okay.
Struggle for political power. I'm telling you sincerely, Ajimobi didn't struggle for that post. The post of deputy national chairman. He didn't.
What happened?
Because I remember vividly that it was Baba Kade, Chief Bisi Akande, the former governor of Oyo State, that called him and said, see, Biola, because that's the way Baba will always address you. Biola, we want you. The Yoruba wants you, and you cannot turn it down. If I can remember very well, since about a year to the end of his tenure, he has always been like, see, once I'm through here, I just want to go and enjoy life. I don't even want to dive into these political things. We, his lieutenant, has always been the one that has been pushing him and say, Oga, where are you going to drop us? What happens to your lieutenant?
Because he needed to be there.
Yeah, because we need him there. He needs to be there. You know, for us and all that. His desires and wish has always been, if I have my way, I will just go to one quiet island or Caribbean place and just be there quietly, live 6 months there, come back home and see what is happening and go back. I just want to enjoy with my wife, honestly. And my children around me. That has always been his position. So in this national chairman thing, he didn't struggle for it.
He didn't struggle for it. He got it, but he never enjoyed it. Ayo Gundele?
You see, from what my bros here have just said, you see, because I had a totally different relationship with the former governor, Ajimobi. I first met him in 1990 when he was manager of National Oil, Jericho Ibadan here. He allocated land to me at National Oil Agbowo that I used to create Tintin fast food then in 1990. that I gave to somebody that is still running till today. And I remember I went into his office like 3 days later to thank him. And I met him 3 days before, and I walked into his office just to thank him for the allocation of the land that I've paid. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you doing here? You better go and start your work." You know, it was very straightforward, go and start you're coming to greet me for what? Go and start work. You know? And the relationship I had with him grew after that. Okay? His first election, there was an incident in my hotel, Davis Hotel, concerning the INEC then, if you remember. Okay? And that was what blew open the ploy to make sure Ajimobi did not get in. And I think he came to me and said, "Okay, so what do you want me to do?" I said, "No, I didn't want you to do anything. I was only protecting my business." And that endeared him to me. The last time I saw him, he actually drove himself to my hotel on a Sunday. We were sitting down together. A few people came, just two of us. We walked around the hotel and everything. But he had always told me exactly what has just been said, that he wanted, after his 2 terms, he wanted to just retire. He wanted to enjoy the rest of his life with his family around him. That is what he told me so many times. So it must have been pressures of his political surrogates, his political boys, for instance, that made him wanted to continue into politics and be senator and be this, you know, because like Bros just said, where are you going to drop us? Not just coming from him, coming from a lot of people. Okay, that's probably what pressurized him into saying, "Okay, I'm going to go and be a senator."
Professor Bukhari, he did not win the Senate election.
Yeah.
And to some, that broke his heart.
Well, I think basically if his heart were broken, perhaps that was not what killed him. And, you know, so, but I think there is a lesson to learn. Obviously, this man had his life planned out. We have to be careful. We need to be elevated also spiritually. Something was speaking to him that he had to draw a line, that it was enough. But he listened. Nobody is indispensable. We need to always hear ourselves from inside. When you run from inside, you get this communication that you need to stop. And then you get a lot of other communication from around to say, "Look, you are the best." There must be a time when we stop. And I think he yielded to pressures and events. That started a chain of events that has taken us to where we are today. He had attained his vision in life. I reviewed his book, the book that was written by Wale Okediran. And reading the book, I saw something about him that I never knew about. I wasn't the one. I liked the man as a person, but ideologically speaking, there were certain things about programs that I had issues with, you know, when it came to him. But I saw him like somebody who was polished. And even where you disagreed with him, you knew that you were disagreeing with somebody with some level with a high level of intelligence. But you know, it gets to a point in your heart, in your heart and in your life, you just tell yourself it's time to stop. It's time to review other things. It's time to do other things. And then when people call you, you say no. Don't revise your plans. No matter what, notwithstanding the pressures and so on, don't revise your plans. The man had done quite enough, and his spirit was telling him that it was enough in that line of life. And then
he even said it publicly.
He said it publicly.
I recorded it.
Yes, he said it publicly. It's enough in that. And then you say, because don't play God. Don't put yourself in a position where the future is mortgaged, because you see, he's a victim of politics, basically. Let me put it that way, in the sense that if he did not go to Abuja, people will say it's an act of God, that it had been written. But if I don't share it to that extent, in the sense that if God had written every problem that we face in life, why does God say we should pray? So what is the role of prayers? We should just take a nihilistic view of life, and whatever comes our way, we should have it. So there is still a role a man should play. But whatever happens at 70, with what he has achieved, there's no doubt that he has succeeded by the parameters of every human being. You know, what we use as the parameters, whether in politics, whether in terms of education, whether in terms of family life. He has done well. It's not about how long we live. If it's about how long we live, he has lived long as well. You know, so I think in my culture, what will be seen to is a celebration of the man. Because any man who has had children and grandchildren has built a lineage in his ancestry. And I think that's basically what I see about him. And I congratulate his family for what he has done. And I congratulate him. And I pray that he rests well.
On the front page of the Saturday Punch, Ajimobi for burial Sunday, a mosque named after him. Mosque. What is the significance of this? Because when I heard mosque, I said, what's the significance of this?
In fact, it's such a significant thing in Governor Ajimobi's life. He was a highly religious person. Like everybody has said, he was a highly compassionate person. And I remember there was a Sunday he drove to my place and he was telling me about the mosque. And one or two other people walked in and he said, let's go and see the mosque. Now, this is 12 midnight. So we drive to go and see the mosque. And he says, what is left here?
The mosque at Ukiado?
Yes. Says, what is left here in this mosque? And somebody says, oh, sir, in the mosque in Medina, there's some huge chandeliers. And he says, where do they sell chandeliers? I say, oh, there's a boy that owns a shop on Bodija Road that sells chandeliers. Do you have his number? He says, yes, call him. At 2 a.m., that guy opened his shop. And Ajimobi bought the 2 chandeliers and told him to deliver it to the mosque. The mosque was very dear to him. Religion was very dear to him. In fact, people were very dear to him. In the history of Oyo State, I don't think there's been a governor that have been more magnanimous to people around him. A lot of people will not admit it. A lot of people will not openly say it. But I know a lot of people that will say they are going to see Governor Ajimobi and they come back with fat envelopes. Okay? And this happened every week. And he would sit down with me, just 2 of us, because he knows I'm not a politician.
Did you say fat envelope?
Yes. I'm not looking for politics. I'm not a politician. He just saw me as his son. And he used to sometimes just see opportunity to just hear what really is going on in town.
Why did you react that way?
First of all, if I can say this, because you ask why the mosque.
Yes.
Well, maybe I wouldn't know how much of this I should be revealing, but I'm part of the processes of it. It was actually the request of some of the notable religious and Ibadan headers that actually, will I say demand or requested that it will be good if it's buried in the mosque. It wasn't the family.
What was their reason? What was their reason?
The family has to yield to that.
To me, it's quite significant. But what did the elders say? Why? Is it that
because they said not about the fact that he built it, but they said that he because of what he has done, his compassionate attitude to people and all that. That if you actually, for any Muslim buried in the mosque, that there's a special grace with God that such a person receives and all that. No, they came with so much something. And I remember that initially I said I wasn't going to mention that to them where things are being discussed. But then I have to do a subtle message that this is request of coming from people, elders and religious leaders who are here and all that, to someone there. Well, eventually, around 7 p.m. in the night yesterday, that decision was taken.
The family would have preferred him being buried at home?
Exactly.
You're so quiet. How do you feel?
Well, I feel, I don't know, mixed feelings, so to speak. I've been very sad since I heard the news of his ailment when he took ill. And in my own little will, my family and I were praying for him. Because for me as a person, that was a moment that he started to cherish me.
You fell out with him at a point?
Yes, I fell out with him. And like father and son, that's one thing about Ajimobi too. He called me one day, about 2 or 2.5 years after I left him, and said I should meet him. And I was shocked when I saw his call. You didn't ask after me for almost 2.5 years. And we met. And I remember at that meeting, I first prostrated to him. I said, Oga, you'll be wondering why I did that. He said, I was wondering. He said, I do tell people that you are my son, you are my... I said, Oga, you didn't do well to me. And he frowned immediately. I said, yes, sir. I said, in that government that we ran, if there were 5 people that were to be killed, I, Festus Adedaya, will be one of them. He said, yes. I said, I was biting the bullets for you all over the place. He said, yes.
But you were paid to bite the bullet.
I said, yes, you paid. I was paid my salary to bite the bullet. I said, sir, you didn't owe me anything, but you owe me what lawyers will call the fiduciary duty of asking after me. To say, that boy who was biting the bullet for me, what is he doing now? And he apologized. He said he was sorry. And I also prostrated. I said, whatever I had done wrong against you, please forgive me. And I told him, I said, Your Excellency, when you leave government, when the hawks must have left you, because I'm sure they'll go their ways, that is when I want to show you that I really love you. I didn't love you. Yes, you picked me up, but I came to love you as a son would love the father. And when you leave government, that's when I want to demonstrate to you that I really love you.
Did you demonstrate it?
And I did that. You called me several times on radio programs through what I wrote. You would call me, you say, Festus, people respect your opinions. And what you have written about me, what you have said about me, they've been calling me all over. I really appreciate you. And so it was a time when I should enjoy him the most, so to speak, that he died.
Wow.
And as he said, as my brother said, there was no time you go to Ajimobi's house, he won't give you something. Your family.
I also had running battles with him.
Yes, you had running battles with him.
There were many times we had meetings to settle the quarrel.
Yes, I remember you and I, the first meeting we had here at Splash FM with Baba Konde, Baba Aiku is late now.
Yeah.
You and I were literally spitting on our faces. And thereafter, we became friends on account of Ajimobi. And he really appreciated that. You see, Ajimobi was somebody who loved intellect a lot. He didn't like psychophants, even though he had psychophants milling around him. Thereafter, he will ask you, what exactly do you think we should do? And he was also a man who revered those who were intellectuals, who had something to offer.
Okay, we'll be back after this break. Ajimobi has taken the day, but we will look at the politics of the APC as we talk about him, because he was involved.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Arábìnrin, dákun fún mi ní power oil tó wà nínú àpò pélébé kan. Oníbàárà mi, eléyìí má tóbi gan o.
Ìyẹn ni pé o tí gbọ́ nípa power oil inú àpò pélébé tí a fi ìpín mẹ́wàá òróró kún.
Àfikún ìpín mẹ́wàá yìí má tóbi gan ni o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, èyí ni power oil tuntun inú àpò pélébé tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe tí ó fi ìpín mẹ́wàá ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ.
Èmi náà fẹ́ràn power oil jára tuntun yìí o.
Kí wọ́n náà yá lọ mú power oil tí inú àpò pélébé tuntun tí a ti fi ìpín ìdá mẹ́wàá òróró kún ní ọ̀dọ̀ èyíkéyìí ohun tajà tí ó súnmọ́ jùlọ fún $100 péré.
Power oil, power oil. Olúwa fòpin sí àmì Ọlọ́run ṣe bí ọba.
Òwúrọ̀ àkọ́tún ètò ní ìkànnì Splash FM 105.5 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Monday sí ọjọ́ Sunday láàrin aago 5:30 ìdájí sí 6 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. pẹ̀lú wòlíì Ọlọ́run alààyè Apostle SMO Mustapha JP bàbá ṣebí ọba. Òwúrọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run wípé gbogbo ẹni tó bá wá mi ní kùtùkùtù wọ́n rí mi àǹfààní ní ìfún ọ láti ní ìbápàdé Ọlọ́run nínú ayé bàbá ṣebí ọba ní ìkànnì Splash FM 105.5 lójoojúmọ́ láti ọjọ́ Monday sí Sunday láago 5:30 ìdájí sí 6 fún wọn náà láti di aládùn Ọlọ́run nípasẹ̀ ìránṣẹ́. Ìwọ náà máa darapọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ láago 5:30 ìdájí 5:30 a.m. sí 6 ọgbọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú iṣẹ́ agbára látẹ́gùn pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run nínú ayé bàbá ṣebí ọba Apostle SMO Mustapha ìjọ Seed of Christ Golden Church International lóṣù nígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀ ìrì òwúrọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ ní ìkànnì ìrírí iṣẹ́ agbára tó ṣàrà ọ̀tọ̀ nígbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
99 Indomie. 99 Indomie.
Priye, where you dey run dey go?
I won't go buy 199 Indomie Super Pack for brother ABA and another 99 Indomie Super Pack for Auntie OVA.
Indomie Super Pack 99 naira? Oh yeah, take 90 naira. Make you buy one Indomie Super Pack for me too.
Okay. 99 Indomie. 99 Indomie.
Now so, where you buy your delicious Indomie Super Pack with the same bonga taste for just 90 naira. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
We all want that unique, durable, large format portrait picture, time-tested and memorable personal gifts for our loved ones and souvenirs for our ceremonies and occasions. How about classy awards and recognition plaques for your special occasions and the latest designs of promotional items for your business and organizations? Daffodils Corporate Image Limited gives you all these and more. We manufacture extremely durable and virtually indestructible high-definition picture printing on metal from small to very large format, guaranteed to last up to 150 years. For all these and more, visit Daffodils Corporate Image Limited today at Grace House, 16B, Oyo Road, opposite Oando Petrol Station, Mokola, Ibadan. Daffodils Corporate Image Limited, the brand that makes your brand stand out.
COVID-19 kì í ṣe ọjọ́ ikú rárá ṣùgbọ́n ìtẹ̀lé òfin àti ìlànà gan ni bẹ̀rù láti wá pinwọ́ ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 coronavirus rí dájú pé ó fọwọ́ rẹ lóòrèkóòrè pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àti omi tó mọ́ má ṣe bu ẹnikẹ́ni lọ́wọ́ bomú wẹ́nu rẹ pẹ̀lú ìbòjú tí a fi aṣọ ṣe yàgò fún ìkórajọpọ̀ èèyàn pitimu bẹ́ẹ̀ a kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé láti jìnnà sí ẹnìkejì níwọ̀n àbàṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mẹ́ta wà nínú ìmọ́tótó sanitizer gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ koríkòsùn látẹlẹwọ́ rẹ má pẹ́ níta o ṣàmúlò òfin àti ìlànà àjọ NCDC bí ẹ bá wá kẹ́fí pé àwọn àpẹẹrẹ tó rú ọ lójú bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jọ ìfọwọ́bà COVID-19 kàn sí ẹ̀ka àjọ tó ń pinwọ́ ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn NCDC 08009700010. COVID-19 ìpèníjà ńlá láwùjọ àgbáyé ṣùgbọ́n kò ní pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní jìnnà tí ó jẹ́ rodò lọ́mú mi àṣẹ. Ìkéde ìwà láti lè ṣe rédíò ọmọlúwàbí Splash tó ń ti Lágẹ̀lú 96.7 FM Ìbàdàn.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Splash FM 105.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo.
And the last time when I went for a function that was busy with everybody, and I saw the young man, Obilo, interviewing everybody, he came to me and said, "Oga, we want to talk to you." I said, "I don't want to talk to you." He said, "Well," I said, "You abused me last week. Now you want to talk to me today." But I think in the last couple of months, he has been espousing many of the good things we've been doing. Obilo, you can talk to me now.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Your Excellency, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We hope when you call on you again, you will oblige us.
No, I will come. I mean, I told you it's my uncle's station. The only thing is I'm angry at Obilo. Tell him when you see him. Don't cut off the thing. No. I'm worth the public to hear. Obilo doesn't spare anybody. I'm not going to spare him. It's like my brother. We fight all the time, but fighting on the truth. He shouldn't have invited me and not appeared. Okay? It's disrespectful to me and to government.
Thank you
for coming.
Thank you. Coming, sir.
Thank you.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
just want to know this. What did both of you discuss about me? I'm talking to you now, Professor Sadida. Perhaps this is the time to know. Was I really a pain in the neck?
Why don't you wait for my memoir? Anyway, I must tell you the truth. Ajimobi had a lot of respect for you. We had issues with you at some point. You and I didn't start off as friends, you remember? We started off as adversaries to each other because we were always a pain in our neck. And for a media manager who wanted to hear positive things about his principal, you were fouling up that atmosphere for me. And so, of course, as a media manager, if you didn't listen to Obilo, you were done for. I found out that I called you on several times to show my disaffection. People in government at that time really found you. Of course, you had made your name before we came into government, always holding Akala to account on account of many of the things you found that he didn't do well. And so when we came in, we normally believed that you were going to be our person. You were going to be positive in your analysis of our issues, and you were more. I think you could say you struck a balance, but nobody wanted anything negative, no matter how tiny it was. You were interviewing people, which of course was part of what you needed to do. You were interviewing people who were very unkind to us, and Ajimobi. And don't also forget that people were always coming to the governor, not only the Ajimobi, even any governor, to tell him. The people pretended to know how the media operates even more than you. I ran a conciliatory media management. You would attest to it. I forcefully became your friend, even from the background, while the fire was still on the surface. I became your friend. And we were relating, and we were getting positive reviews in the media. And some other, Folake Otuyelu, everybody. I ran a kind of media management that underground I will come and meet you and ask you, what exactly have we done wrong? So Ajimobi had a lot of respect for you. If I mentioned that, Your Excellency, this issue, can we explain it to the world via Obilo? Can we get Obilo to come here? He's going to ask you some questions that are not favorable. But I know one other thing that I enjoyed as a media manager was the benefit of having a principal who was very brilliant, who you could not face, F-A-Z-E, as when you are interviewing him. He's always atop the situation. So I wasn't afraid that he was going to destroy the narrative that I had. So I had that with him.
I remember there was an interview I had with him in his office. Yes. And when I was leaving, I just expected him to say goodbye. But he kept following me. We got downstairs. He was still following me. Where did you park your car? I parked outside the gate.
I remember that there.
Yeah, I could see the security man say, Mr. Governor, can you leave me? I'm escorting my friend.
Yes.
Yes. And he got me there anyway.
Yes, he got you. I remember that he got you.
It disarmed me. When I go home, I said, no.
You see, that's one aspect of Ajimobi that many people didn't know. He had the heart of a doe. Yeah. Those things, those shakara, at the end of the day, he comes back and did very thorough analysis of situation.
Wow. Now let's look at this. APC crisis. Oshomole orders risk expulsion over planned court action. If Ajimobi was alive, Professor Ebukari, will he be? Perhaps he will be among those that will be expelled.
Well, I love APC. I mean, that's putting it sarcastically. You will know that APC is a special purpose vehicle for arresting power. It was never designed as...
Bimbo Kolade is a top APC.
Yes, I know, and that's why it's also good to say...
He's representing Oyo State in the Federal Character Commission. And he's an Ajimobi boy.
Yes, but there was no plan of what to do with power, no strategies of what to do with power. And then, of course, you also know that they built a power infrastructure, but no strategies. You can understand how this came about, in 2015 and before. They need to get rid of Jonathan. Everybody was unhappy and so on. So I'm not saying that because I'm saying this of APC that I'm approving of PDP, because we must not forget how we ended up with APC. Then, of course, that there are three arms of APC. These are the CPC, ACN, and then, of course, the new PDP. And then you have two dominant personalities. And one just a small one. You have a lion, a lion. You have a brood of hyenas.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have a cobra.
Who is the lion?
The lion of Bodilon.
Is there a lion in Bodilon?
On this, I may say I may not disagree totally with you on this. It's a pity, but let me tell you this on fact. If Ajimobi had been alive and active, I'm telling you, the NEC will not have dissolved the NWC. It will have been allowed to carry on the leadership of the party as the acting national chairman. Here is an individual that all the governor, either serving or not serving, they respect him as an individual. Here is one person that he can pull a call through to anyone in Nigeria, and they will say, "Oh, Your Excellency, Governor Ajimobi, if it is for you, I hands off." I've seen it happening not once, not twice, not thrice. Funnily enough, his son just got married to an Hausa person just about 2-3 years ago, thereabout. But even before then, right, he can call any governor in the north and they will surrender to him. In any way, God gave him one advantage. The age is there for him. So everyone respect his age, everyone respect his intellect, everyone respect his organization and leadership ability. And I'm telling you sincerely, if this has not happened, that NWC will not have been dissolved. That I can say.
Ayo Gundele, you want to intervene?
Yes. You see, as somebody that's not a politician, I'm not really...
when you say you are not a politician, is it because you are not a card-carrying member?
You see, what bemuses me with this is that the populace at large look at this with pure amazement. It is only in Nigeria we ask ourselves, the populace ask themselves, though these political parties, do they not stand for any form of ideology at all?
Should anybody be answering that question?
Yes, because you see, when a governor, runs as an APC candidate 4 years ago against an opposition, and 4 years later they are switching parties. The guy in PDP is coming to APC, and the guy in APC is going to, as it is incredible. It is only in Nigeria that kind of thing happens. It's only in Nigeria. It will be totally impossible for a Donald Trump to go to the Democratic Party or vice versa.
Is that not the flexibility and the beauty of Nigeria's politics? Can we see it from that angle?
No, I don't think so.
As a politician, I may say that at least, if not for anything, this shows that our politics in Nigeria is evolving. Don't let us forget one thing. Wherever United States of America is today, they didn't just find themselves there. They went through their own trouble also since 1775 of U.S. Civil War and the rest of it. So, and this about the time that we can say, okay, we've all come to realize that democratic way of life is what we need to go by.
And it's a process.
I always say, and it's a process. I always say I'm happy about something. We remember we are all there in 1983, we are all there before. What Nigerians will have been clamoring for now is that let the military boy comes over. But we are not hearing that any longer. It's always not that, okay, wait, another 4 years is coming. Afi Bosoro. Another. Honestly, let's allow the processes to develop. We will come back to the politics of ideologies and the rest.
That's my question for politicians, because we started this idea of people cross-carpeting without any modicum of, not even ideology, any modicum of respect for party politics, even when decorum. Yes. When Papa Awolowo was there, you remember SL Akintola, when he had to leave the action group, almost at the snap of a finger, he was already in another party and started, attacking that same political party that brought you into limelight. And I see, what I see goes beyond what Honorable Kolade said. I see it as a reflection of who we are as a person. We don't have decorum. We don't have any measure of seriousness, no attachment to principle. And it is the foundation, the superstructure, whatever you call it, of the lack of a sense of commitment that the Nigerian has. You do not have any attachment to principle. And the moment we don't have any attachment to principle, then we cannot get it right as a people.
Let me go back to Professor Ebokare.
Yes.
You talked about 3 of them.
Yes.
You mentioned the lion.
The lion of
Bodilon.
Yes, and then of course you have the hyenas. Once the lion made the kill, the hyenas in CPC. Yeah, he just made the kill, but it was snatched by the hyena.
So who are these hyenas?
So these are the CPC cabal. So they are the hyenas.
So you are saying the CPC cabal has snatched the party?
They've snatched the carcass. Nigeria is the carcass. They snatched the carcass. What they are doing, they defanged the Cobra, who is the new PDP with Saraki as the head. And now what they are doing now is a mop-up operation of the lion to ensure that the lion does not have. So this is about 2023, basically what is happening. And then what we are seeing today is an operation to finish off the lion. Because if you look at those who are on the receiving end of what is going on now, basically they are those who belong to a particular branch of the APC.
But remember, a lion is a lion.
Yeah, well, that's why we still believe. But we say, but the problem sometimes basically is that if the lion has already destroyed his own head, what can he do? And that's basically the problem.
Let's look at the point here. Ajimobi is gone. Yes. How would this affect Tinubu in the Southwest? Because Ajimobi became a henchman for him.
Well, Ajimobi was only, as far as I remember, was only the chairman or deputy chairman South. Yes. Not for a very long period. It was after Niyi Adebayo became minister. Do you understand? And that is just what? A year and a bit ago. It's not even up to a year.
It was confirmed this year.
Yes, yes. You know? So Ajimobi had not been given the opportunity to use his expertise in settling the party problems.
Did he have that expertise?
Yes, Ajimobi did. Ajimobi,
you can remember what happened to the APC here.
You see, Ajimobi had the power of the gap. He was able to talk. And when he was able to talk, he was able to also convince a lot of people.
But he had a divided house
with his
in the 2019 election.
With his age and experience, okay, he would have been able to at least try and bring 1 or 2 people together, okay? But before we even go further, Ajimobi's lineage, okay, was already well known to the hyenas. So the hyenas were getting ready to counter whatever moves he made.
Are there hyenas in the APC?
I like Prof. Analogy. But then while he was saying it, I was like, oh, okay, good. All these textbook politicians, why don't they leave politics for the politicians? Right? I'm telling you sincerely, yes, it is good the way he has bring out his point, but I'm telling you sincerely, things will come out, within the party, and it will surprise everybody the way things are. Yes, there's always struggle for power. It's there everywhere. It's there. So whether the lion or the hyenas or even the dogs, every one of us gathers within the party. And power is not served a la carte. That's what we have been taught. You have to just struggle for power. So the fact that there's struggle is ongoing now is there. But you asked a pertinent question that with Ajimobi out of the Southwest politics, how will Southwest be affected, and particularly maybe its lineage towards Asiwaju? Yes, of course. If you have, I believe you must have read Asiwaju's tribute, right? And yes, it's really things that we know that it will give a gap, not because of anything, but the fact that, here is a man that every one of us has been looking towards, that he will be able to maintain the balance. See, Ajimobi is seen from the two angles as somebody who has a very free and fair mind. Honestly, all those that are opposed to Tinubu, they are not opposed to Ajimobi. That's one thing that the party has lost. No. And on the two sides, the two sides usually see him as a very neutral and natural person. See, whether Asiwaju like it or not, the way Ajimobi sees something is the way he's going to express it. I've seen him before they became friends. I've seen situations even before when Asiwaju was a governor and Ajimobi was not a governor. I've seen them in situation why Asiwaju was no longer the governor and Ajimobi was a sitting governor. I've seen them in several situations. So I know that what they will miss most is the fact that, we have looked at this man as a very stabilizing factor. Whether they are hyenas or the lions, honestly, I believe that the two sides will actually miss the man.
But we should be afraid when a party has lions, hyenas. That is, we are not safe.
And cobras.
That is what we are. Dr. Fesad, are we safe when you have lions and hyenas running the state?
You see, the mistake we make, especially textbook politicians, according to is that we think that maybe politicians let them conduct their affairs themselves. But we have found out that what they do, who they are, actually have very huge impact on our lives. Somebody who you didn't contribute to is not being a governor, becomes a governor, is an illiterate, begins to invite it begins to impact on the economy, on the social, and he will run that state according to who he is. His limitation becomes our limitation.
Yep.
And so we should all be interested. And right now, when people say, leave our matter to us, APC, no, we are not leaving your matter to you. It's just like the Yoruba proverb, Taba Jeki, Taba fi okwe wure. I'll translate it to Edmund. That he could probably even eat his mother. I mean, a madman, if you allow a madman to bury his late mother the way he desires, he could in the process even turn the mother into a cuisine. And probably eat the mother.
If we allow the
APC to, because the way APC is running, it's negatively impacting society.
You can see the death in the north.
Yes.
The bandits in the north.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I will keep on saying that.
And say we should leave you
to settle your problem. It's a family matter. No, we are not going to allow that.
All right, we will be back after this break. I'm discussing with Dr. Festus Adedayo. I have Bimbo Kolade here, and I also have Ayo Ogundele. Professor Francis Egbokare is on State Affairs. We'll be back after this break.
Splash FM 105.5.
Oh, Mr. Unlimited. Why is this thing so slow? Ordinary picture, I can't send.
Oga, stop complaining. Switch to Airtel Ultra plans and stay connected throughout the month. No capped speed. Instead, when you run out of data, you get extra data daily till your validity expires. And with up to 150 gigabyte data, you shouldn't have to worry about running out. Get on Airtel Ultra plans today. Dial *370# or visit airtel.com.ng/HBB. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
ó ti dìrọ̀rùn báyìí o nílùú Ìbàdàn fún ẹ̀yin èèyàn tẹ́ ń wá ọ̀nà láti yá concrete mixing machine láti po kọnkéré tó kì pọ̀. Iléeṣẹ́ Bidel Construction ti kó over 500 concrete mixing machine wọlé fún rentage pẹ̀lú owó péréte tí yóò fapò ẹni rárá. Ẹ tún máa gbọ́ bí o bá ti ń mú ìyàn wá sí Bidel Construction láti yá machine tí wọ́n fi ń po kọnkéré yìí tàbí ìwọ gan ló ń yá lọ lò ló máa gba ẹgbẹ̀rún kan lórí machine kan, ẹgbẹ̀rún márùn-ún lórí machine márùn-ún, mẹ́wàá àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Lórí iye machine tó bá yá, ó yá gbéra láti lọ yá concrete mixing machine lónìí ní iléeṣẹ́ Bidel Construction tó wà ní High Court Road, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Tàbí kí ẹ pè sórí nọ́mbà yìí 081-807-02938. Bidel Construction. Bí a ti ń fi concrete mixing machine ṣe rentage, la tún ní agbára owó láti bá yín gbé àkànṣe iṣẹ́ kalẹ̀ láì ní wàhálà kankan.
Got car troubles? Confused about choice of vehicle to purchase? Or just curious about how automobiles work? Maybe you're just an enthusiast. Join me, Tunde Onokoya, the mechanic, on Auto Clinic from 10:30 to 11 a.m. every Wednesdays on Splash 105.5 FM as we explore the automotive industry with features such as Vox Pops, interviews, news, and interactions.
Arábìnrin, dákun fún mi ní power oil tó wà nínú àpò pélébé kan. Ah, oníbàárà mi, eléyìí má tóbi gan o.
Ìyẹn ni pé o tí gbọ́ nípa power oil inú àpò pélébé tí a fi ìpín mẹ́wàá òróró kún.
Àfikún ìpín mẹ́wàá yìí má tóbi gan ni o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, èyí ni power oil tuntun inú àpò pélébé tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe tí ó fi ìpín mẹ́wàá ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ.
Èmi náà fẹ́ràn power oil jára tuntun yìí o.
Kí wọ́n náà yá lọ mú power oil tí inú àpò pélébé tuntun tí a ti fi ìpín ìdá mẹ́wàá òróró kún ní ọ̀dọ̀ èyíkéyìí ohun tajà tí ó súnmọ́ jùlọ fún $100 péré.
Power oil, hey, power oil. Àrùn COVID-19 kì í ṣe ọjọ́ ikú rárá, ṣùgbọ́n ìtẹ̀lé òfin àti ìlànà gan ni bẹ̀rù láti wá pinwọ́ ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 coronavirus rí dájú pé o fọwọ́ rẹ lóòrèkóòrè pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àti omi tó mọ́, má ṣe bu ẹnikẹ́ni lọ́wọ́, bomú wẹ́nu rẹ pẹ̀lú ìbòjú tí a fi aṣọ ṣe, yàgò fún ìkórajọpọ̀ èèyàn pítímù, bẹ́ẹ̀ a kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbàgbé láti jìnnà sí ẹnìkejì níwọ̀n àbàṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mẹ́ta. Wà nínú ìmọ́tótó, sanitizer gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ koríkòsùn látẹlẹwọ́ rẹ, má pẹ́ níta o. Ṣàmúlò òfin àti ìlànà àjọ NCDC bí ẹ bá wá kẹ́fí pé àwọn àpẹẹrẹ tó rú ọ lójú bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jọ ìfọwọ́bà COVID-19 kàn sí ẹ̀ka àjọ tó ń pinwọ́ ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn NCDC 08009700010. COVID-19 ìpèníjà ńlá láwùjọ àgbáyé ṣùgbọ́n kò ní pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní jìnnà tí ó jẹ́ rodò lọ́mú mi. Àṣẹ. Ìkéde ìwà láti lè ṣe rédíò ọmọlúwàbí Splash tó ń ti Lágelú 96.7 FM Ìbàdàn.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Everybody in Nigeria is corrupt. Everybody. It's not only financial corruption. We all talk of financial corruption. There is attitudinal corruption. There is spiritual corruption. When I was running for office, and I'm saying this, I'm not running for any office again. But when I was running for office, I remember there was a time people would come and say, "Oh, you're a Muslim?" "Yes." "My wife is a Christian, I'm a Muslim." "Very good Christian." Me, fairly good Muslim. Because for me, religion is about your heart. It's to wish other people well. That's what religion is about. It's not how many times you go to church or mosque. And I've discovered in the course of my running for office that whether a Christian or a Muslim, 99% of the people mix that religion with other things.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Mr. Governor, do you realize that the state is again becoming dirty because waste are not properly disposed?
I'm happy you are saying this. And, you know, the beauty of this state and of democracy is that when you say we don't want people to be dirty, we want to do this, people, you know, I don't know if you listen to Obey's song, one of his songs, and there he said there was this man who was having a donkey with his son. And the man, because the donkey was not feeling well, decided to carry the load himself and the son to carry part of it and let the donkey walk freely. And people saw the man and said, are you a crazy man? What is donkey meant for? Why don't you put all the load on the donkey? The man says, no. They said, but donkey is meant to carry. The man put load on the donkey and the son and everything. And they saw the man again and said, do you want to kill the donkey? You are carrying load. And, I mean, you are putting everything on the donkey. Your son is even on the donkey. Everybody. The man said, but you people are the ones who told me I'm putting too much load on myself. Now I'm putting the load on the donkey. Now you are complaining.
So what are you trying to tell us?
When we started cleaning Ibadan, some people came out and said, oh, the man, you should leave them. Where do you want them to trade? Leave them on the street. Leave them on this. So I left them. Now people are complaining, the place is dirty again. The place is dirty again. So I can assure you of one thing. Effective October 1st, you see us cleaning the roads again because we don't want dirty roads. No matter what anybody may say.
The refuse they put in the median of the road, are you going to...
we are clearing them, but not at the rate that we used to, because again, many of the contractors left us. We didn't have money. We couldn't pay them. So we are restructuring in a way that we will have those people who can finance the project to be the contractor.
Are you saying from October 1st?
October 1st, I can assure you.
Traders on the road should be ready for fire?
Believe me, brimstone for brimstone.
So you are back again?
Fully back. Fully back, I guarantee you. Because I'm so glad at the rate people are complaining. And the rate at which they are complaining is higher than those complaining when we were cleaning the streets.
Mr. Governor, do you realize that the state is...
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
The late Isiaka Abiola Ajimobi was born on 16 December 1949 in Ibadan, Oyo State. He attended Lagilu Grammar School for his secondary education. Ajimobi studied business administration and finance at the State University of New York in Buffalo, United States of America, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree. He had his MBA in Operations Research and Marketing at Governors State University, University Park, Illinois. He was a Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of National Oil and Chemical Marketing Company, a subsidiary of Shell Petroleum Nigeria. In 2003, Ajimobi won election to represent Oyo South in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the platform of the Alliance for Democracy. He was elected governor of Oyo State in 2011 and re-elected in 2015 for a second term. He was the deputy national chairman of his party, the All Progressives Congress, when he died. He passed on Thursday, 26 June 2020, from COVID-19 complications. He was admitted at the First Cardiologist and Cardiovascular Consultants Hospital, Lagos, where he breathed his last. He was 70. He will be buried tomorrow in Ibadan. Honorable Camille Akinlabi, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Good morning, Abulo. Good morning, everybody at home.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you again.
Ajimobi is gone.
So sad.
You had encounters with him.
I was a member of his political family. In fact, almost, I could say I almost became a member of his family.
And on the platform of the APC, you got a second term in the House of Representatives.
That was when ACN, it was ACN.
Okay, yes, it was ACN then.
It was ACN. That was, we have been together since 2007.
Tell me more.
When he contested for governorship, and there were issues. The journey, we traveled that journey together. We went far and near, but we couldn't succeed. But we kept hope alive.
That was in AMPP?
He was in AMPP, I was in PDP.
So what happened? Why were you backing an AMPP man?
Because he was my good brother. We were so close. Many people didn't know. So when he contested in 2007, there was this feeling that the relationship we had would blossom if we won the governorship. So we planned it together. But unfortunately, we couldn't succeed.
So when he eventually won?
But in 2011, we kept it alive. We didn't relent. So luckily in 2011, there were skirmishes in PDP.
You led the fight from that angle to sabotage Akala, right?
I didn't sabotage Governor Akala.
What did you do?
What I did was, as at that time, politics is about interest. Inside PDP then, as constituted then, there was no way my aspiration could be met.
Because you had fallen out with Akala?
No, right from the word go, we were not close.
But you could tally, you could keep moving until their laughing fell out with Akala.
No, as at that time, we had no close contact. There was no basis for close contact because I was in Abuja and he was the governor at the state level.
But I could remember I interviewed you then and you were throwing fire at Akala.
No, that was when the issue of Erelu Water Works, there was crisis about Erelu Water Works. That I successfully put some money in the budget of that year for the waterworks to be done. But some people in the government then felt that would be a slap on their face. How will this man get this amount of money and it will affect them politically? So they convinced the governor Akala then that they had to stop it. But I knew if that thing was stopped, there was no way I could have such opportunity again.
So you had to fight?
I had to fight to make sure my people did not lose that money.
Honorable Camille always fights. And you also had to fight Ajimobi at the time.
No, we didn't fight. It was a disagreement.
Disagreement or a fight?
No, we didn't fight. It was a disagreement. Even after disagreement, we were still good brothers. We occasionally, one thing you cannot take away from Ajimobi, irrespective of the situation, he will tell you the truth. Even if you will kill him, he will tell you. He will start saying by joke, "Whoa, Ogbeni, come. Aburo mi ni." tí ò bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé à ń ṣe dànù gan mo lè bí ẹ yẹ àbúrò jìnnàjìnnà ni ẹ mo lè sòótọ́ fún ẹ mi ní í ṣe báyìí he will tell you but naturally instinct I will say but when they were doing this to you I told him one day I said your excellency when they were doing this to you in AD you left the party and you fought those old men then what you could not take is what you are asking me to take from you.
Now you have come to the point. Camille also moved. Like we are having movement today. Today, Camille is a member of the PDP.
Yes.
Yesterday he was in the ACN.
Yes.
And before the ACN, he was in PDP. Who knows? You will move to APC soon.
Well, that is not likely.
Because you are now the chairman of your state road maintenance agency.
No, apart from that, because of apart from working with somebody, there are, just like Ajimabi, before now, Governor Seyi Makinde and I had been close friend. Close friend. He had been so wonderful. In fact, I would say I had not been keeping faith with our friendship. He had always been all over me to make sure, extending all kind of acts of fellowship to me. But I've been the one that has been reluctant. But since Providence has brought us together, I think I should give him the opportunity.
The state is mourning. He has said that the flag should fly at half-mast.
Yes. It's a very sad phenomenon. I couldn't sleep for 2 days. That Thursday when I could not eat. I didn't even know what was happening to me. I could not explain. Because it was just like that. So, just as you are playing his voice, I will just look at some of the videos. I've become weak again.
Ayo Gundeli, there are times I feel as Edmond Obilo, I have conquered the fear of death. All of a sudden, I'll just discover somebody dies and beginning to say, oh! Because what happened, I was exercising, so I was tired, I was going through my aerobic session. Okay, let me just check Instagram, what's going on Instagram, just to while rest a bit before I continue my exercise. I just saw Ajimobi's picture. I moved down Ajimobi's picture. Next thing, I just lost my strength. Why is death this wicked?
You see, the most important thing is that it's a reminder for all of us that are living that tomorrow is promised to no one. Everybody says, Ajimobi went to Abuja and caught COVID. Nobody can tell you precisely where he got the COVID. The COVID has an incubation period. He could have been in this Ibadan, he could have been in Lagos. Do you understand? The fact that he fell ill in Abuja does not mean that he caught it in Abuja. But you see, the most important issue there is that it lets everybody realize that you can plan for tomorrow. It is not guaranteed to you. Like the saying, man proposes and God disposes.
There is an interview I will play next week. I can remember taking him up. I said the hospitals are not good. We don't have good hospitals. In Ibadan, I took him up seriously. Ajimobi did not fix the hospitals.
But you see, in your program earlier on, you heard Ajimobi talking about how much money came into the state, how much was used to settle salaries, how much was left for infrastructure. Really and truly, we need to really put all this in balance. Did Ajimobi not think about hospitals? He probably did. But to get the funding to do the hospitals, or to be able to think outside the usual box, okay, to fix the hospitals, okay, became a difficult thing for everybody, like it is for all states in the country.
Bimbo Kolade was a commissioner in Ajimobi's government. Yeah. You want to defend it?
Yeah, maybe I can say he did his best for the health sector.
It wasn't good enough.
Yeah, because there are constraints.
Because he had to run to Lagos at last.
This is someone, because of his own idea of whatever I want to do must be with complete and total excellence. Whatever is there even on ground within the health sector became a challenger. From where do we start with this? Then eventually he conceptualized this total idea of bringing up the health sector, and that was what led to focusing on 3 major hospital projects, which is the now Olodo project that is being used by the current administration, as isolation center. That was what led to the Jericho project. That's what I think they are using it for isolation center now. And I think the third one, maybe the one is Shaki, or also, and it was actually coming up with this project. Okay, if we must address the health sector problem, let's be able to address it holistically and ensure that we face it and we get it right at once.
Was that holistically?
Finance was not a very good friend, because Yoruba will say that if the money is not there, try to know what is there. But then in is still making sure that he did his best for the people on the health sector. He started what we call the free health mission, that okay, if we can't bring them to the hospital, let's take the health facility to them.
But it
didn't work. During those free health mission thing, of course, things were addressed for people. I've seen situations during the free health mission.
The mobile ambulance, they all packed up.
These are challenges of operational things. Mind you also that the operators that you are working with, who may not see some ideas before, also they becomes your challenges.
You might want to defend Ajimobi. It's not just about Ajimobi. Okay, Dr. Adedayo.
Yeah, as I told you, I won't try to say what was not. I think if you ask me, I think he didn't do as excellently as he did in road infrastructure in the area of health. Perhaps, as Honorable Kolade said now, being a man who always wanted the best, if you check out his road infrastructure, I'm sure nobody had ever done that quality in Oyo State.
But is that the quality we have in Dubai?
Well, we are talking about Nigeria.
Are we saying our governors cannot build cities that look like Dubai?
No, what I'm saying is comparative excellence. When he started that quality of road infrastructure that he started, perhaps only Lagos had that
Is
level.
Lagos not a slum?
It's a slum. I still insist that we are talking of comparative excellence. But I insist that he didn't do as well as he did in road infrastructure in health.
Adeoyo Hospital.
He didn't do well.
The health sector was left to crumble. Because this Olodo that former Honorable Commissioner is mentioning, had to be repaired, practically rebuilt by the present administration, just to be able to do this isolation center. Okay, if it had been completed properly, okay, like Mr. Dayo saying, the focus on health, okay, by Ajimobi's regime was not as much as other fact sectors like roads and other things, and even
have
education.
we learned any lesson, Professor Bukari?
I don't think so, and I don't think we are likely to learn any lesson in the near future. That's why I actually feel that probably a very traumatic event is probably what is going to shake Nigerians up and wake us up from where we are. Our standards are too low. When people praise leaders and leadership on the basis of outputs, not outcomes, not on the basis of impact, sometimes you wonder whether we are living in the same world with other countries. If you cross over to Ghana here and you see quality of delivery, you come back to Nigeria and you compare the quality of delivery with the amount spent. You wonder what is going on. I think the focus is not about really actually making changing the status of the country or the quality of life. It's more about we are working to an answer. It's a contract-driven system where we have a system where also our business strategies are not actually driven by the right parameters. There is no performance management system I have seen anywhere. So what you then have basically is that we are arguing in the media about the quality of governance, about the quality of leadership. But when you look down you look at the parameters on ground, you discover that there are really no way to measure what is done. You cannot look at measurable indicators to say this is where we were, where we are now, where we are like to be in so many years.
Okay, we need to ask Honorable Camille Akinlabi, we need to measure, but that's the reason he's here. Just because Ajimobi died, we needed to reshape the program. Now measure. You are the chair of an agency that is key to business. You need to maintain roads. Honorable Akinlabi, did you drive through Okeado?
Okeado, yeah, the only section that is remaining in the city is from Malete to Okeado. Outside and from Felele Junks, from Challenge here to Malete up to Bere. And there's a contractor there now working, coming to Malete, coming to Challenge. But we are beginning from Dubai to Okeado to Malete, possibly next month. But what I'm trying to tell you is, former Governor Ajimabi spent so much time in urban renewal. He wanted to change the face of Ibadan. That look, Ibadan cannot be like this for 50, 60 years. And this years, anybody who had left the city for how many years would just come, will still be able to locate the same point, over 30 years ago. That was his agenda. And he focused first dualizing the roads that are in major cities. Ibadan, Oyo, Ogbomoso, Ìṣẹ̀yìn, then later Ṣakí. At least to change the face of what we used to see. But when this admission comes on board, what the agenda is, whatever is the legacy, whatever is the project that will have very meaningful impact on the lives of the people, will not be abandoned. When people complain, Seyi Makinde is recommissioning, he said, look, we cannot abandon this project because it was started by somebody. It is people's money. We have to put them into use to make sure people get dividends for the value, for people have value for money. And he made it clear that unless we complete all the existing infrastructures, we won't start a new one.
So tell me, how far have you gone?
Well, if you, like I've just submitted what we have done for the past 9 months, you will see that we have actually tried within the metropolis of Ibadan, within the city centers. You can move freely to anywhere, except that from Dubai to Malete through Okeado. From outside that axis, go to any part of
have you done? I saw some of your men 2 weeks ago on that Awolowo Road, very close to 411. You dug holes there. Have you filled the holes now?
Yeah, we passed through there today.
Okay.
So that you see from U-High to Secretariat to Total Garden. From Total Garden to Bere will commence in a couple of. In fact, from Mokola up to Gate, you can even close your eyes and be driving.
Operation No Potholes.
Operation No Potholes, and we mean it.
Now you need to come to Akala Express.
No, that is why.
I know Festus lives around that area. Please tell him to come there.
No, we are. Yes, because around that area, we have actually worked around that roundabout.
Okay.
From Alcala Road to Lebu and all those things, there are another phase of our engagement because it's a very vast area of land. We have to collaborate with local government chairman to make sure we cannot just fix all the major roads. Access road to people's houses are equally important. There must be a synergy between us and the local government to make sure roads we fix can effectively match with the local government. We work with the local government concerned to say, okay, we are fixing this one. All local government road that empty into this road will be equally fixed so that people will have value for what we are doing.
I have to commend your agency for the Mokola Barrack, the front there. When I raised the alarm.
When you raised the alarm, I think you raised the alarm the following week. There was a mandate that must be fixed that week, which was fixed.
Who gave the mandate?
The person, the executive governor of your state. The person whose responsibility it is to make sure every people's plight are addressed instantly. Immediately you raise that alarm, and in fact, where you didn't see, I now gave us a mandate where you see similar thing. If you go from Bere to Kare now, we have equally erected the same thing because people have been living there for centuries without such thing. Well, we discovered that having fixed that road, there may be tendency for recklessness on the part, so that people won't be falling there. Go and see the length now. We have fixed all those things. So it's not only immediately you raise the alarm, the governor now gave the mandate. Where we have similar circumstance must be properly addressed, and we have been addressing it.
Camille Akinlabi is on State Affairs. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo.
Welcome back. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. You can join the discussion by calling the numbers 080-915-51055, 080-569-98678, and 070-694-93000. Don't forget, Camille Akinlabi is here. You have any question for him? Is there any bad road you want him to know about? Call him, tell him. They are here to serve you. That is why you elected a governor. 080-915-51055, 080-569-98678, and 070-694-93000. Tribute for Ajimobi. So the ball is in your court. Say hello to the radio man. Let's look at this. Let's come back to the APC, Professor Bukari. I want to read a part of a statement that came out from the party opposing group, reacting to the decision to convey an emergency meeting of the National Executive Committee. The Oshomole faction, having boycotted the meeting, announced that President Buhari must have been ill-advised or blackmailed into accepting to be part of the meeting. Blackmailed. Can you break that down? You are a linguist.
Yeah, well, I actually think that's an overstatement. Because when you say blackmail, the president was blackmailed. I thought they were trying to make an excuse for him rather than being very sure that he was blackmailed. You want to fight, but you are so scared about fighting. And I think it's a sheer act of cowardice. I mean, that's the way I see it. This guy.
Who are the cowards?
The coward is probably the lion. The lion cubs.
The body team.
Yes. Yeah. Look, you see, the problem I have with Nigerian politics is that when we look at the real politicians, we are looking at the people who talk in the media. The real politicians are behind. They are the ones. They are the fiddlers. The fiddles are the ones you hear. You see, when you want to look at the power play, the movement that you saw coming from Aso Rock was a big maneuver. And let's just be frank about it. When you cannot maintain a certain level of stability in a party, and it took that long for the president to make a move, it got to a point where everybody was saying he should intervene. First of all, is the problem I have. Then he intervenes, and then you now again raise an alarm to say he ought not to intervene. I think there is a problem of dissonance in the political system.
Who owns the party? Because it seems it was the president that dissolved.
Yes,
the National Working Committee.
He's flexing his muscles now. He's now telling you that look, there's an authority here. There's somebody who has the power to control things here, and he has acted. Now, what we are seeing basically now is that the guys who could have fought back if they wanted to really fight back, there's a way you do it as in politics. Probably they will just go back and be quiet. I am actually afraid of more of a lion that is quiet than the one that is growling. Because when it's more dangerous when the lion is quiet than when he's roaring. A roaring lion actually has nothing to offer.
They kill no prey.
They kill no prey. So what we're seeing basically on ground is a whimper of the corps. The real lion has not spoken. I think we are going to see a very interesting power play in 2023. But make no mistake, by the time you are running out of power and running out of government, towards 2023, you become a lame duck.
Who is running out of power?
You say by if we get to the point of 2023 towards 2023, the power dynamics is going to shift and it's going to change.
And you think Tinubu, having had all the experiences of the past, will be defeated by Buhari? Ayogundele?
Sorry, please.
Okay, you can call me.
Maybe because you said that Tinubu will be defeated by Buhari. Honestly,
it's a question I'm asking.
In between them, they have consistently maintained that the issue is not what we see per se, and in whatever is the composition of the committee now. If you looked at it also, I think the president has made a kind of a balance there. You know, for us to be able to allow room to say, let's sit down around the table in between the lions and the hyena and the cobra, according to Prof. You know, I think the president has been able to mix it together. Now, after all, Anicia Oyetola will not do anything or will not sit down anywhere where anything anti-Tinubu will be discussed. I want to believe a Musili Wakiremi, who is our own here in Oyo State. That's the Ibadan North federal rep.
The one they call Jagaban?
Yeah, the one they call Jagaban.
Is Jagaban representing Jagaban?
Well, at least if the name should be there, that on its own will tell you something. You know, so in between that, you know, we did the table. So that's why I said earlier that let's be able to give APC the chance to be able to say, at least we can resolve things.
Perhaps now there is a balance. Before, Tinubu was controlling the National Working Committee.
Well, if he was controlling, maybe some things some things will not be there that you are seeing.
You see, like following Prof's analogy, okay, of a lion. If the lion does not form a coalition of lions like the Mapogos, okay, where everybody has its strengths, do you understand? At the end of the day, one lion cannot face a herd of hyenas, okay? So they must go back to the drawing table, okay, and they must form a coalition if they want to really achieve anything.
What does Fayemi and Akeredolu want?
Well, they have not come out categorically.
They don't have to come out.
Well,
we read the situation.
It's not for me to actually say this is what they want or this is what they don't want.
I'm asking, why are they opposing the Tinubu team? Well, and it seems Fayemi is vehement.
Yes, because of I think there's a lot of ambits of ambition there. Okay, I'm not a politician, but I'll say it. I'll say quite openly. There's a lot of ambition there. There's also this need, or they see this need to whittle down the amount of power that the Lion of Bodilon has. Okay,
I don't think so.
Yes, and they're trying to use their own powers as governors or whatever, forming a coalition.
Are they not playing into the hands of the North?
The North are master strategists at politics. They are already years ahead.
No, when you say this, you scare me. Dr. Adedayo, did you just hear that?
Yeah, it's really frightening. In fact, that angle you came from was what I had always canvassed too, because if you hear some of their strategies, when they tell you what they have already done, you'll be scared. In fact, you can bid 2023 by from their position. They had already had things mapped out. But unfortunately for us in the Southwest, or even in the South in general, we concentrate on textbook politicking. We open our flanks to them. You have the Fayemi fighting Tinubu. You have ambitions. Of course, it's not wrong to be ambitious. But when the ultimate question we must ask ourselves is, to what end is that ambition directed towards? Is that ambition, is it the classification by Max Weber of politics? Is it for personal good? Is it for public good? If Fayemi is fighting Tinubu, is it for the sake of the public, of the public? Is it towards public good? Or it is meant to satisfy an inordinate ambition? And so that's where I quarrel with our politicians. Right now, the whole Southwest should rise in support of Tinubu. If he had carried the people along, if he had played the politics of, if he wasn't showcasing himself as what I call the Lickspittle of the North. Because the Awolowo, especially Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who was mapping out the Southwest, or the Southwest rather, region, to make it a beacon. He wasn't a fool. He had studied. I mean, you should give it to Chief Awolowo. He had an understanding of the geography, history, and the political culture of the whole of Nigeria. And he knew how political individuals will behave at certain points. And he told us several years ago that these nuances that he found out after his classification and analysis were almost cast in iron. And you see such behavior manifesting now. We now have Tinubu said that, look, what Awolowo couldn't achieve, yes, he was able to achieve it. He's been able to spread his tentacles to the North. Now we see the North, master of the game, castrating him and telling him that he doesn't know how to play politics.
Has he been castrated? Camila Kinlabi, can you intervene?
Well, I want to disagree a bit. You know, there's no issue of Tinubu here. Oshiomhole overdid everything. Let me tell you, when he knew he wanted to get Obaseki out, he's supposed to have followed the rules. The man said, for instance, he was not appealing the decision of the screening committee. But you saw Oshiomhole on television reading the report of the appeal panel. Which appeal did they sit on? When the man did not appeal? And why must you be the chairman, who is an interested party, a stakeholder, and Edo, that everybody know, be the one to be in charge? Why don't you have any of the deputies? You don't have any of the officers you can delegate that to?
That's why he's the chairman.
No. If he's the chairman, if once your interest is involved in a matter that you will be judged, you have to extricate yourself.
Perhaps that is somewhere else, not here.
No, even in politics, if we have issue with our chairman in a party, even at world level, the first thing we ask him, look, you have to allow your vice to take over because you are involved in this. But he took the front seat all along. And you could see from certificate, he was so brazen about it.
And now Obaseki is in the PDP.
I'm coming. So, in dealing with that, the president just said, okay, this Ulabalu has to be checked. He had to hide under what is the latest thing. The only authentic thing that the president could lay hand on, if we have to be sincere, is that Gadon, that the court has expressly stated that, look, you should be acting as the chairman. And the man went back to the same court. The court validated the order. In the circumstance, what would the president do? The president just said, okay, let's rely on this to get something done. And why is that? It is not castration of anybody. Dissolve everything. Edgar Diadom, Edda, Oshiomhole, everybody, all of you should go. Let's start afresh. And this caretaker committee, I don't see them getting anything done other than to call for memorandum. Okay, what is the way forward? So nobody has dealt with anybody in this. It's a matter of... why people are feeling like that is our own style of politics is once you are not the one that appoint the referee in the match, so you think you have lost the match.
Is that not what happened?
That's
how Oshiomhole was able to skim out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's real.
No, because you see, if you are a killer, ordinary knife behind your back, you say, please, so what in because they knew what they had used that position for. Now that another person a neutral person is in charge, they are now afraid.
What makes him neutral? He was a national secretary of the party. Is he neutral?
Yeah.
Now he's a governor.
He's a governor.
Now.
He's a governor
But
now.
he has been a player within the party.
Within the party.
He's a quiet lion.
Yes.
Nobody knew about this Yobe State governor.
Yes.
So he might be a quiet lion.
That's just an imagination. We don't have facts about that. But what we know is we can only base on his antecedent. His antecedent has been so fair. As his national secretary, he has been so fair. I had issues when I was in APC, and I attended the National Working Committee where I led when we formed APC in 2014. There was supposed to be election of party officials, and our people collected forms, and Ajimabi did not even collect form from us. He just nominated those he wanted. I said, no, Oga. So I went to National Working Committee. I complained. That man said, okay. And what did I do? I simply took the forms purchased by our people. But these were the forms we purchased. Ask them in Oyo State, particularly in Oyo East and Oyo West, Atiba. Ask them, where are the forms? Who are the contestants? And go and check your record in banks and see how many people collected. And that's what they did. And that was why the congresses in both local government and the world level were nullified.
So it's good to fight.
Look, no, I'm telling you my personal experience with the now governor of Yobe State. He stood his ground. Now the deputy national chairman, not Lawan Shoaib, I was Governor Ajimabi's colleague in the 5th Senate. They were together. So he was behind him, feeding him everything that was there. But the secretary said, no, this young man, I've been able to lay this thing bare, and that's justice.
Professor Bukari.
Yeah, I just want to raise this. There are too many myths that we perpetuate in the Nigerian political system. Especially for those of us who are textbook. Now, first of all, is the myth of the North. We have created a myth of the North, in a Hausa Fulani myth, that in itself is becoming a problem to us. Now, there's nothing. Look, you have to look at the system of leadership in every part of the country and see exactly what challenges of leadership it is forced on that part of the country. You have a feudal North, you have a communal West, you have a Republican East. All of these system of leadership creates, if you are looking at the policies of control, it is easier to have the policy of control in a feudal system than you have in a communal system. So the leadership parameters for leading Yoruba land has to apply in such a way, realizing the energy, the cultural energy in Yoruba area. But when you are saying this is what the North is doing, you want a Yoruba land where everybody comes together, it will never happen. You want an Igbo land where everybody comes together, it will never happen. So what will you need? You have to aggregate competencies and powers in Yoruba land, and then have an open and transparent system that produces leadership on the basis of capacities and logic. And that way you can see that you are going to devote. But when you want to use the same methods you are criticizing, which you said has also devalued the North in terms of what you see on ground, you want to use it and they give you titles, Jagaban, whatever it is, and so on. You see, the problem is that I'm always afraid when people go about with titles, big titles. When you are going to somebody's house and you hear that the name of the person's dog is Lion, you are prepared to attack the lion. Yes. By the time you get there, and you would have killed the small bingo before you realize that it's a small dog because you were prepared for a lion. And this is the problem with nomenclatures and titles that we use to get into our heads. And I think we should free ourselves from this myth of a northern Hausa Fulani powers.
We have made textbook analysis. We keep repeating it. But is democracy not a work of critical thinking?
Yes.
The men who defined democracy, the Edmund Burkes of this world, were they not intellectuals? So how come when intellectuals do analysis of political event, we tend to say they are not on ground? But we'll answer those questions after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Let's take you on a journey into the future with a touch of Daffodil's corporate image. Are you into printing business in search of quality and exquisite world-class product, or an event planner with a desire to create a lasting impression with your brand imaging, or a manufacturer looking for a catchy label for your products? Daffodil's corporate image is here for you. At Daffodils, we offer you a world-class digital sublimation production, direct-to-substrate ultraviolet printing, product labels, sticker printing, and high-precision laser engraving. Our direct-to-garment production gives your t-shirt a second-to-none superb color brilliance and durability that will blow your mind. Contact us today at the Grace House, 16B, Oyo Road, opposite Oando Petrol Station, Mokola, Ibadan. Daffodil's corporate image. We make your brand stand out.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
Oh, Mr. Unlimited. Why is this thing so slow? Ordinary picture, I can't send.
Oh, God, stop complaining. Switch to Airtel Ultra plans and stay connected throughout the month. No capped speed. Instead, when you run out of data, you get extra data daily till your validity expires. And with up to 150 gigabyte data, you shouldn't have to worry about running out. Get on Airtel Ultra plans today. Dial *370# or visit airtel.com.ng/HBB. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Turbo boost your evening drive with the coolest choice of music to help you get home, the gym, or wherever you're going.
All the hits in the mix.
You've got good vibes coming your way. Mondays to Thursdays, 5 to 10 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. And don't worry if you ain't driving. The Smooth Home Drive is just as good if you're sitting, walking, or cooking. After the hustle and bustle of the day, you deserve to reward yourself with a Smooth Home Drive. You get news updates, tidbits, traffic reports, games, drama, and music requests. Supercharge your evening experience with the Smooth Home Drive with Colade and M-Spice. Mondays to Thursdays, 5 to 10 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM.
Pep has everything for baby, like Molfix pull-up nappies for only 3,000 naira per pack. Sizes mini to junior. Hurry while stocks last. It's happy baby competition time too. Winner takes 200,000 naira. Buy any Molfix or Cussons baby care product and keep your till slip to enter online, along with your baby's photo from 6 July. For details and T's and C's, visit pep.com.ng. Pep, where you always get more.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Ajimobi Yatiri, Osabodire, Osabeli Goro, Biola Obadimobi.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live. State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Honorable Camila Kinlabi, let's look at Obaseki. Obaseki, PDP, Edo State. Victory is sure, right? By the special grace of God.
Yes.
Do we need
Obaseki will win.
It will win.
Of course, the apparent, even the APC is the APC in Edo is skeletal, because the structures in the APC were backing Obaseki. That was why Oshiomhole didn't want the primaries to be held. He said direct. The man said, okay, let's go. He said okay. But he knows, even within the structure of APC, and all those ones are saying they are still in the party. So
and he remains suspended.
But all the structures of APC today in Edo and PDP, as Obaseki is running, are one. So no love lost about it. And I don't even say any magic anybody can do about that. Even, you see, for you to rig an election, where you must be overwhelmingly popular, unless you will be ready to kill all the people. You're ready to kill anybody.
What happened in Osun?
Yes, look at what happened in Osun, for instance.
Was it rigged?
Well, in a way, but that rig was perfect because they bought one leg of the PDP by Omisore. They bought Omisore.
So there's perfect rigging.
There was perfect rigging because immediately they bought Omisore from the stronghold of PDP, which was Ife-Jesa zone. So there was no political force on ground to resist whatever will happen. So it made it easier for them.
How come PDP could not keep their man? How come PDP could not keep Omisore?
Where PDP may not have the capacity, because, mind you, what got Omisore? Several governors, party leaders, all those. They started his home in
what do you mean by capacity?
Capacity in terms of capacity and capability.
No. What makes capacity here? Perhaps Honorable Kami is being political. Professor Bukari, when you say capacity,
we're talking about money. Money speaks.
So PDP was broke at the time.
Yeah, you know, the truth basically is that you see the parties are basically feeding off the resources of the state. You don't have state governors, you are gone. That's basically the truth. And also, I also tell people that when we blame the politicians, we should also blame ourselves, those of us who vote. Because nobody will vote for anybody who does not share money. No. That's just basically the Nigerian something. So it's a transactional relationship between the people and the politicians. It also always happens that at the end of the day, we end up blaming the leadership without taking responsibility.
Where is it leading us? You can see the Nigerian
that's why we are going nowhere. But I have a hope. I want to share the optimism of Obilo, because I know in spite of everything, when you analyze everything, you're still looking at the future with hope. I want to say that we are getting very close to a point of catharsis. From what you see happening in the north now, you are seeing a combustion and the failure of capacity or for control. The elites are about to commit suicide.
Are they not committing suicide already?
Unfortunately, it is never ever the popular revolt or leaders emerging from popular revolts are never usually the best, because many of them are not prepared. We have seen that in terms of what has happened in the APC, in terms of how the APC, for instance, has thrown up various kinds of leadership at various levels. It will even be worse if you end up having people at the very level, bandits and so on and so forth, getting hold of power at some point in time, and then creating.
Are they not getting hold of power?
Oh, they are controlling territory. But unfortunately, we are not even looking expertly at what is going on in the country. The fact that these people are 2, 3, 4 steps ahead, and that their ideological movements and their strategies in this country, they are taking more and more control. The way they mobilize resources. We see things happening, but we do not know that there is a responsibility chain leading to a group. We are not following the arms, we are not following the money. Because when you follow the arms, you follow the money, you will see exactly an organized hierarchy.
We just have to go. Do we have a caller? Okay, who is that caller? Somebody has been calling. 080-915-51055. Sorry, we didn't open the phone lines on time. We just had to go on with the conversation. Honorable Camille, the rains are here. Is Ostroma ready?
Yes, we are ready.
How ready are you?
You see us on the road almost on daily basis.
Because I want to take my camera to town soon.
Please do.
I want to do operation no pothole.
Zero pothole.
Anyone I see, I begin to scream, you do something.
Yes, do so. And you, but the one concentrate on the city center first. Like I told you, we are moving to outskirts not now, but what we have done is within the city centers. We can move anywhere within the city centers and call our attention.
Is there anything happening in Oyo?
No. What part of the strategy of Operation Zero Pothole His Excellency had adopted is to decentralize the operation of the agency by creating zonal offices. But unfortunately, our equipment was about to be purchased. when the issue of the COVID and other things and the international travel and all those things started. So that hampered the process of purchase. Because the governor, His Excellency, wanted to purchase equipment that would take care of all the zones. We have Oyo zone that will be in Oyo, Ogbomoso zone that will be in Ogbomoso, Okeogun zone that will be in Otu because it is central. Ibarapa will be from Igbora. Ibadan will be operating from the headquarters. And we want to make sure equipments are on ground in all the zones, so that we don't need to be moving one equipment from one zone to the other for us to achieve results.
So this is direct labor?
This is direct labor.
No contract?
No contract.
Wow. It sounds good, right?
Very good, because it will increase the capacity of our people by engaging laborers, engaging skilled workers, unskilled workers, and society will be better for it.
That was not the approach Honorable Bimbo Kolade took when you were the Commissioner of Works. You gave it to contractors, right?
Yeah, you can see the Ostroma is a different agency separated from
ministry.
Completely. Okay. So the ones we run in the ministry are like purely ministry. Ostroma operates on their own.
So who do you report to?
His Excellency, the governor.
So you are a big man.
Yes, I am.
You go straight to the governor.
Yes.
You don't need to see any commissioner.
I don't need to see anybody.
That's why you are the chairman of Ostroma.
That's why I'm the chairman. That's why I'm His Excellency's friend, personal friend.
Honorable Kamina Kilabi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for featuring on State Affairs. Professor Bukare, you want to fire a shot before you go?
No, just to say that I've had a very nice time, and especially with my friend who has just told us that some of us are textbook.
But you are accepted. Yes. What do you have to say about textbook before you go?
Well, I want to say sometimes the textbook has the answers that the people on the streets are actually looking for. It's been a wonderful morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayo Ogundele, for featuring on State Affairs.
Okay. Yeah, Edmond, I think we just need to bridge the gap between the gown and the town. And that's where the things are, because we still need the textbooks to be able to perform at the
town. To even calm the politicians. they are already going haywire. Dr. Festus Adedayo, where do you belong, gown or town?
I'm more comfortable with the gown.
But you know something, you tend to stay away from the politicians. But you are among them. You are both for Chimaro and Amani. You work for Ajimami. And even the Senate President appointed you at the time. So it seems you are closer to the politicians.
I'm closer to the gang.
Dr. Adedayo, thank you for featuring us.
It was nice to be here.
And you, the listener, is there any caller there that can say hello to me? All right, we just have to go. Sorry, I didn't read your messages today. But the essence of the messages is to create conversations. So go on my pages, read the messages there. You can leave your views. But let me make this point. The mind is the engine of the state. Winston Churchill says the empires of the future are the empires of the mind. The colonialists worked on the minds of Africans to suit their aims. It is a mind game. As they conquered the mind, they expanded the exploitation of the human and material resources of the African. The structures of exploitation were handed down to indigenous leadership at independence to continue the expansion, and the African suffers. It is the failure of Africa to engage in constructive mind examination and re-engineering that has exposed it to political and economic uncertainties. Next week is another time. I am Edmond Bilo. I work with Boson Alayode to bring you this edition of the program. Tosin Ayeni is here too. Thank you for listening.